How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Investing with Zeke. So tonight we're going to talk about a stock that I subliminally kind of support. The channel's really behind. A company called Under Armour. A lot has been going on in the company. I haven't really did any updates on it. If you want to go back and watch some of my older videos with, I've done background checks on Kevin Plank and Stephanie Lenartz, which is was the CEO of the company. She has now stepped down, and now the stock is completely tanking. Now, do I understand why? I mean, Kevin Plank's gonna fill the spot. I mean, he's the one who developed Under Armour and actually made that silk clothing that repelled sweat. That came from Under Armour, and that came from him. But what made me excited about bringing Stephanie in was having a lady in the athletic field, kind of giving her input on designs. And that way, because actually, like, my wife loves Under Armour. I think there could be more done for women in the whole sports sector. So having a female CEO was kind of unique. And that also was a kind of a big reason why I support Under Armour. And we're going to look at the competitors, and we're actually going to look at Yahoo Finance and check out what is really going on at Under Armour, what happened last week, why Stephanie left. She's going to leave. She's going to talk about it. This first time I'm watching it too, so we're going to kind of watch it together, and then we're going to go over a little bit of the numbers and am I still going to be bullish on Under Armour if I do plan to add it to the portfolio? But let's get off into it, and let's hear what the professionals have to say.
Leadership shakeup at the company late Wednesday. Under Armour founder Kevin Plank retaking the CEO reins from Stephanie Lenartz, who has been at the role for just over a year. We just had Lenartz on our new leadership series, Lead This Way, and here's what she had to say about being CEO with the founder as executive chairman.
Having the opportunity to work with the founder is pretty special, and I think it's fantastic for me as the CEO. I think it's fantastic for the company and the brand that the founder of Under Armour he's our executive chairman and brand chief, and is deeply passionate about the company that he founded and is deeply passionate about supporting me as the CEO and growing the company.
And to break down what this means for investors, we have Yahoo Finance's Brian Sozzi. Brian, timing is interesting here. Any inclination that something might be underfoot, some big leadership changes when you had this interview?
Well, no. So if you want to tie this all in a bow, it's essentially this. Here's the story. Rich, aging quarterback wants to buy back his toy. And that is essentially Kevin Plank, who owns 65% or 65% voting control of the company. And he wants to take this company back, likely before they open up a new headquarters in about a year, just down from where he originally started Under Armour. But nonetheless, people that I've been talking to over the past 12 hours suggest this was a surprise to a lot of analysts on the street. Also a surprise to Stephanie Lenartz, based on what people have been telling me. But also comes at a time where the business was being rebuilt essentially by hand by Stephanie and her entire new leadership team that she's brought on over the past 6 months. So lots of moving parts here. Generally, the vibe on the street is, look, the analysts are giving a lot of praise to Kevin Plank. He did found this company. He was selling T-shirts out of his car in the late 1990s. Is an American success story. But let's keep in mind, it's a company that has had a lot of cultural issues, a lot of major operational missteps when Kevin Plank was in fact CEO. And really, one of the things that came up between me and Lenartz was this thought of culture. Lenartz telling me that she's very much focused on servant leadership and rebuilding the company's culture. Here's what she told me. I'll leave this way.
That old expression that culture eats strategy for lunch, but I think you need to have a strategy for culture. I do think you need to have a strategy for culture, and I think that the CEO plays an important role in driving the culture of the company. And the culture that I want to have at Under Armour and that we have at Under Armour is one of winning, of grit, of determination, of belief.
You do this long enough, guys, and as I have, I still look young, but nonetheless, been doing this for a while. And really, some of the biggest success stories or turnaround success stories in corporate America have come because a new CEO has come in and reset the corporate culture right down, and that helps the way of thinking. It helps thinking right down to even the ground level. Now, it takes time to rebuild a culture. It takes time for those efforts to pay off, but usually they do start to pay off 1, 2, 3 years down the line. And it's just something I think Kevin Plank didn't want to give Lennartz time to do. Interesting point on culture. I'll just continue this thread. Timeline of some of the, I would say, some of the biggest flops under Kevin Plank as CEO, and there have been many. A couple things that are worth calling out. Bought a digital series of digital assets in MyFitnessPal, nearly at the top of the market, sold it for far less. Came out at the start of the Trump presidency with supportive comments for President Trump that really ruffled the feathers of Steph Curry, of course, a key asset, endorsed athlete for Under Armour with that Steph Curry line. Ironically, one of the first meetings that Lennartz had, she told me, was with Steph Curry just to rebuild that relationship in large part because of those bungled comments in a TV interview by Plank, always known to put his foot in his mouth. Then you had the Wall Street Journal reporting in 2018 that strip club visits were reportedly allowed to be expensed at Under Armour. Under Armour looks like they course corrected on that. And then one of the more bizarre stories, in 2023, there were reports coming from a new lawsuit against the company that Plank shared confidential information with TV anchor Stephanie Ruhle. So there's been a lot of going on. And against backdrop of really this, you look at the last 10 years of results for Under Armour, with Plank largely at the helm. Sales have aggressively slowed down. Margins have degraded. The company has lost significant market share to Lululemon, Nike, a lot of upstarts in the space. So this is not going to be easy shit. Now, Kevin Plank posted on LinkedIn. I should mention Under Armour now want to make Plank available for an interview to me. Also really not being made available to any folks on Wall Street, so tight-lipped for him. Did post on LinkedIn, though, that he seems to be a changed human being, and because of that, he might be a changed CEO, to be told. But he has a lot to prove. And really, he can't come back in here in Under Armour thinking he's going to run this ship like he did, the prior 10 years. That's not going to cut it in this environment.
So it's real cool. What do you make of the stock reaction?
It's the correct one.
It's the correct one?
It's the correct one. Not only do you have the surprise factor of pushing out a respected leader in Stephanie Lennartz, who had a lot of tremendous success at Marriott. Some of her efforts, her management team, the management team she hires, they were all new, incredibly respected. John Varvatos, the fashion designer, is the chief designer of this company. So she has started to reset the culture, and there were signs these things were starting to pay off and may have started to pay off later this year for the holiday shopping season. And again, I think there's just this lack of trust in Plank. This is a company that grew the company too aggressively.
Let me downsize this. Sorry, I'm trying to
lack of trust.
Trying to think on really what to say here. Because that was the first time I actually watched this. So let's pull this up here. That was disappointing. That was really excuse me. That was really disappointing. All right, so Stephanie Lennartz is by far Kevin, look at me. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you plan on fucking up, but it does definitely looking like you have plans on fucking up. Like, did you just get back in because the election's coming along and you want to push Trump, which is, that's fine. It's your company. You do own 65% of this company. However, I did not realize what kind of douchebag you were. Now, is that going to stop me? Unfortunately, a douchebag isn't one of my red flags. So let's get off into a little bit of these numbers, shall we? But Kevin, really? You need to bring her back immediately. This was about to really turn around. Now, do I think Under Armour still will turn around? I do. So let's get off into why. Nike, leading head dog into this company, or in this space, right? Nobody but Lululemon really messes with Under Armour. I didn't put Lululemon up against Under Armour, because it's really more of a lady thing, which we would have got out of Stephanie. So thanks a lot, Kevin. Kevin, why do you like fucking up? Is that what you like doing? You better not fuck it up again. I mean, the reason why I still believe this company, because he's coming in like a douchebag that he is at all-time lows to take the company away from another CEO. Like, what a scumbag. But he says he's changed his life, so hopefully he's found Jesus. Let's hope he has. But anyway, let's get off into Nike. You know, $150 billion market cap. A little bit of fun facts. Nike brings in $51 billion. They make about $4.5 billion in profit with a 44% margin, with $6 billion in cash, but $7 billion in debt. Nike is not going anywhere. This is by far head and shoulders the leader in the space. So I just wanted to give you them numbers, right? Let's go off into Nordstrom. I think Nordstrom is actually more comparable company-wise, not to what they sell, but kind of location-wise and, you know, kind of what they're going for, more of the mid to low kind of shopper. Like, you know, mid to low shopper. Let's just keep it a buck, right? So also Puma would be in that, but that's an ADR. And Puma has similar numbers as well. Market cap sitting with Nordstrom at about $3 billion market cap. Let me see what I had written up on them. They do about $14 billion a year with $300 million in profit with a 64% margin. They like to pretend like they have something nice, but $3 billion in debt, but $4 million in the bank. So this is definitely, is this comparable? You know what? Little pop quiz for you guys. Are these numbers comparable more to Under Armour? Are they more comparable to Nike? The leader in the space, the King Kong of the jungle. What do you think? I'll give you 3 seconds. Close enough. You could have paused it for 3 seconds if you wanted 3 seconds. Let's find out, shall we? Let's check out Under Armour's. This is why it's, even though Kevin Plank is a douchebag, I even had a look. He just infuriated me with, I didn't know little details like that. I just looked at his background. I mean, and his background's literally legit. In fairness, it's his company. And let's look at some more positive. He does own 65% of Under Armour. Not a lot of CEOs, like Elon owns like 18% of Tesla. So he is really serious and invested into this company. So let's see though. Look at this. This is crazy. This is why I wear Under Armour shirts. But besides the fact we got The Rock on the team, I mean, every other person wears Under Armour. If you're more of a relaxed, fit type guy that likes to go to the gym sometimes, that likes to also be fat sometimes, Under Armour covers both. Also, Under Armour has insanely good deals and just about as good deals as Nike. Nike is a little bit higher price point. But let's look at this. So we got a $3 billion market cap with an owner that owns 65% of the company, just like they said. They make $5 billion a year, $250 million in profit, 46% profit margin, $1 billion in the bank with only $700 million in debt. I mean, this company has a better balance sheet than Nike. And the CEO owns over half of the company. So, where do I see this company being? I mean, it is a good question, especially when you look at Nike. They bring in $51 billion, but they have a market cap of $150 billion. I mean, you could make an argument that they're actually overvalued. Let's bring this. And you can make a clear argument that Under Armour's undervalued. I mean, I could easily see Under Armour being a $20 billion market cap. And that's about where the analysts have it at. And so I'm just going to kind of sit back in the weeds and just watch. It does seem like this is going to tank. I really wanted to get like below that $250 billion market cap, $2.5 billion market cap and under. That's when I plan on, loading in seriously. But Under Armour, I believe it'll be just fine, and I believe it could pop again. You get a couple of good athletes on shoes like Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry already might be with Under Armour. So if we get some good athletes, we already got The Rock, like I said. So I think we could be that 3-4 spot in this industry, which puts a $20 to $30 billion market cap on this company. That's why I'm just watching, and I really want to own. I really want Under Armour to be part of my portfolio permanently, but I have to get it at the right price, or it doesn't make sense. I've traded in and out of Under Armour before, but with this news coming out last week, I mean, we could see this touch all-time lows, and if that happens, if we start seeing like a low $6 like price, low five or upper five, anything under $6, I'm going to put a decent amount of money into it. I know this is a slow grower. This isn't something that's going to crypto to the high heavens. It ain't going to do that, but I could see steady growth all the way up $20, $30, $40, 15 years down the road. And that's kind of what I'm looking for in my long-term portfolio. That's what I'm looking to add this to. So, yeah, I just kind of wanted to give you an update on Under Armour and what I feel what was going on. And even though I'm very disappointed in the Stephanie Linnartz departure, and I am leaning towards that, Kevin Plank is a douchebag. Like I'm leaning towards that. But yeah, that's not on my red flag list. So I'm continuing to look at this. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.